Welcome, listeners, to The Word with Reginald Stroheim IV. I'm your host, Reginald Stroheim IV. Today's show will be speaking with a Kentuckian named Richard Forskin. Am I saying that right? Richard Forskin. Yes. Oh, okay, yes. Who's traveled quite some distance to be here, and we can't thank him enough for that. Welcome, Mr. Forskin, to the show. It's a pleasure to have you.
Call me Dick. Please.
Okay.
I insist. Call me Dick.
All right, then. We'll just call you Dick.
Yeah, call me Dick.
So, Dick, tell me something about yourself, a little something, so the audience can get a description and understand what kind of person you are currently.
My name is Dick Forskin. Well, I'm from the great state of Kentucky, born and raised. I like doing many things, like hunting, like making moonshine, like I got here in this here jar. Enjoyed all the things America has to pretty much offer Kentuckians for the most part. Yeah. So yes. Would you like a drink? I brought some moonshine that my uncle makes. Been passed down a couple generations here and there. It's good taste and good taste.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm what you call a teetotaler. Teetotaler.
What in God's name is that? What is that?
That's someone who chooses not to drink any alcohol beverages of any kind.
Why didn't you just say you're a recovering alcoholic?
Well, because I'm not. I just choose not to partake in the alcohol beverages currently out there today.
All right then, I guess that's your prerogative. Your prerogative.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to have you again. It really is.
Pleasure to be on here. Pleasure to be on the show. I appreciate you having me.
Not at all. It's I always like to get different perspectives from different people across the country. Then we'll see where this goes. I do want to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead. I'm open to all suggestions. Yeah, anything you want.
All right. What is your view on the current climate in America as we see it? What is your current stance on what's going on?
Well, I see a pretty difficult climate. I see a climate that's pretty much everybody wants everybody dead. You know, I see people on the left, I see people on the right trying to make the points, and basically everybody wants to shoot everybody. It's unreal. It's a lot of negativity in the form of words and violence, and it's just not right. That's why I take this here moonshine, and whenever I got myself down, take a little sipper and see where it goes.
I
Makes
see.
life
Yes.
a little more tolerant.
Now there's what a lot of people say. They call themselves, or we call them, millennials. They're the children born more towards the millennium, if you will. What bothers you most about the young ones, who also called millennials nowadays?
What bothers me most is basically that, these kids don't know a hard day's work at all in their life. They've never really worked hard. It seems that they want everything for free, and they don't want to work towards it. And they want to be treated with their little safe spaces and their little, nice little cozy areas and crayons, if you will. But I see it as a little bit of a problem. Now, these folk are going to be basically running the country when we get older, when we're wearing those diapers again in the nursing home, they're going to be the ones running the country, and they can't take a little bit of sarcasm now. Then there's a little bit of an issue. Everybody's crying and weeping over the dumbest shit that basically am I allowed to say shit? Yeah, that's all right. But what are you gonna do? America, land of the free.
Yes, it's quite all right. I wouldn't smoke.
But anyways, like I said, they take things for granted, basically. They take things.
Yes, I see.
Now, I'm not saying every one of them do.
That's
not my point. My point is that, from what I see, the majority is basically taking over control, and you got these whiners and these crybabies. My feelings are hurt. If I had a nickel for every time my feelings were hurt, I'd be a rich motherfucker.
You grew up in the 50s, I take it.
Yes, sir, the 50s. That is a great time. 50s for America was life was not like anything else. I must admit. Definitely different.
What was life like for you growing up in the 50s? Was it difficult? Do you think it was harder then than it is today? Or do you think things were a little more stable, if you will?
Things are basically a lot harder than they are today. I mean, when you talk about working, we worked a lot. I mean, we wake up 4 in the morning and basically, get to work and use our hands and look at these hands right here. Look at these hands.
I see.
It's
rough.
Like that, yeah.
Rough hands,
these
like
bands been working now
stone
for a while, and I grew
something
up
like that
with some difficult work jobs and whatnot, and took it in strides. But we didn't make as much, and if we damn near cried about not making enough, we'd pretty much get a whooping from our daddy, and so we pretty much kept it like that. We didn't piss and moan like the kids today do. They don't want to do anything. They just want to sit on their iPhones, GPSs, what have you, and just be lazy. Is what I'm trying to say.
I see your point.
You want to try some of this moonshine? This stuff is absolutely delicious.
No, thank you. No,
it's a family recipe. It's tasty. It's delicious. White Lightning never went down smoother.
I'm not into the drinking.
Say what you will. Only person I know that doesn't drink, he's just a pussy. He don't like to drink. I get what you're saying. You don't like drinking. You don't like to be a little tipsy. Put hair on your nipples. I'll tell you that much.
Yes. On with the show. You might want to take it a little slow.
Don't tell me that. I'm used to drinking. I'll drink as much as I want to drink. I'm used to it.
So what you're saying is life then was a little harder than it is today.
Yep. I can guarantee you it was harder than it is today. It was absolutely, positively harder than it is today.
So what you're saying...
Now, don't interrupt me when I'm in the middle of a sentence.
I'm so sorry.
I don't like that. I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
I don't know where you're from, but some other country, but out here we don't like people interrupting us. So let me go on with my point. Anyway, life was difficult. Next question.
How do you think we could change America for the better?
Change? I think America needs to take the tampon out and pretty much grab it by the balls and, just do what you do, make life worth living. You do what you do. Don't let other people bother you. Don't let other people get you down. Everybody's entitled to their point. And and no one should be judged for their points in life. I think that's pretty much the point I'm trying to make. You can't judge people. You can't make people look like idiots just because they got a view. Now, I know a lot of people, they don't think like I do, and they don't act like I do, but, they got points that differ from mine, and I look at them like my own family.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Now, if you don't mind me asking, who do you look to vote for in the 2020 elections?
Now that I think about it, I'm not quite sure who I'd vote for. I haven't really been following the politics as much as I should, but whoever can get the job done right, that's pretty much how I see it. Whoever can get the job. Everybody wants Trump out. I see him doing a decent job. He's got foot and mouth disease, but, all in all, he does a heck of a job. A heck of a fucking job.
Oh, let's try to keep the expletives down.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
sorry.
Any views on the alcohol problem that's roaming America?
Say what?
Nothing. Just,
and like you said, just keep it peaceful, and whoever gets the job done. Excuse me a second. That's a good stuff. That's it right there. That's what Daddy X for.
Have you watched the Democratic debates? I mean, there's some things people say that are good and some things people say that are just terrible.
You mean like on the television? Yeah, I watched the debates, the first one and the last one, and I just think they're idiots. They just keep talking Trump trash and blah, 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 blah. None of them have brought up really good points. Whoever brings up the best point, that's where I go, But we'll see what happens in the end, who's going to make it. I think if you spend some time here, where are you from again?
I'm from England, yes, Yorkshire, England.
Yorkie? My cousin got a Yorkie.
No, anyways.
Yorkies are great dogs.
Do you believe in climate change?
Oh, don't get me started on the climate change. That bitch AOC and her fucking new Green Deal, she is just a worthless piece of shit. How does she think we're gonna afford this? She goes from being a bartender, working, God only knows, she's probably worked 2 hours a week, goes being a bartender to running in Congress. It's just a fucking joke. I mean, just absolute fucking joke. What a grimy bitch that woman is. I mean, just without saying.
Yes, I guess we're going to be edit this later.
Excuse me?
Nothing. Let's go on. Let's move on. Any views on the Antifa? Dick? Mr. Forskin? Dick?
Don't touch
my
the
lord.
remote. Remote, don't touch it.
Oh, God.
What's going on?
Would you like some water?
Water's for pussies and liberals. Where's my moonshine?
We should slow down a little bit on the consumption of beverages here.
Only thing slow is the shit coming out of my ass. Yeah, well, listen, I ain't got time for this. I gotta go watch my telly.
Well, this has been a great show. It's a lovely conversation with you.
Where's
yes, it is.
remote? Where's the remote? I thought I put it here in the dog.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for listening. Please tune in next week for The Word with Reginald Stroheim. The 4th, I think it's over there.
Jesus,
yes, under the chair. And thank you. Have a pleasant evening and good night.
is my shoe? I know I left it here somewhere.